And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be carrying on the main story in Final Fantasy XIV's expansion, Endwalker. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here in Elpis at 2422, and we need to talk to Hermes. So the quest is called Lives Apart. Composure regained. Hermes is ready to return to his duties. If everyone is ready, there are a few creations I need to check on. First, we shall return to the spot where we found our wayward Ambistoma. Have care when you step outside a hub, for there may be more unruly creatures about. Okay, so let's catch up with Hermes. Okay, we caught up with Hermes, so let's talk to him. So this here is a new species of Petaluda we recently set loose. It's been doing very well, managing to maintain a stable existence thus far. If it can see its observation period to the end without issue, we shall release it onto the world. Tell me, do you know the difference between living beings and arcane entities? It is the presence of a soul, yet the soul isn't something you can choose to have at will. No, it manifests only in those beings whose forms adhere to the laws of creation that can endure on their own. Beings that do not fulfill this requirement, such as those spontaneously born, or magic or natural phenomena, do not have souls. No matter how much it might resemble flora or fauna, if it lacks a soul, then it is considered an arcane entity. So you see, it is not for mankind to decide what is living. That domain lies beyond our manipulation, but it is hubris to assume otherwise. But come, let us head to the nearby beacon. I've received a report that arcane entities have gathered there. Okay, so again, let's catch up with Hermes. Okay, so we caught up to Hermes yet again, so let's talk to him. So, yes, Lightning Foma, or Nomna, I don't even know how you pronounce that word, just as the report said. Although we call this structure a beacon due to its form, it's in fact a magical device. By manipulating the balance of elements, it keeps the isle airborne and maintains the climate thereupon. So, in the course of its operations, it often sees an internal shift towards a given element. Right now, the element is lightning, which draws the Numa here to replenish their Aether. It appears Mithrie is busy. Would you care to assist me in her stead and feed the Numa? I'll assume the P is silent. By using this lightning converger, you can harness ambient lightning and focus it into a ball. A veritable feast of... for our dazzling friends. Go on, give it a try. Use the lightning to create ball lightning. Okay. So it says, lightning converger. Using this concept crystal, anyone can harness lightning regardless of spell casting skill. Ah. Fair enough. Okay, so let's do it on this location as well. Alright, let's talk to Hermes. Perfectly done, Mithrie. Look. See how they gather to feed? How they express themselves through their actions despite their lack of words? Speech is not the sole defining characteristic of a thinking, feeling creature, nor is silence an indication that they do not possess these qualities. Be it a soulless arcane entity such as a Numa or an ephemeral life form such as the Petaloda, all seek to perpetuate their existence to survive. Is Metoyan an arcane entity, or is it a living being? Good question. I can answer it from a theoretical standpoint, but it ultimately falls to the Bureau of the Architect to pass judgment. Those with exceptional vision, such as Hypholodius, may be able to ascertain her true nature. But to me, it doesn't matter. She is herself, and that is all I need to know. Oh, you finished already? I'm sorry, I was in the way. Not to worry, my dear. They missed nothing of note, and we still have plenty of work for them to observe. Next, we will head east to the Morning Dew. I need to speak with some observers there. Alright. So, again, let's catch up with Hermes. Okay, we caught up with Hermes yet again.
Amazing, is it not? The Ampelos, one of our newest subjects. So, how are we coming along?
This place is Elpis. Those flowers. Elpis.
Makes sense.
Entelekis. Like me.
The zone is pretty, I'll give it that.
They are a product of Elpis, and so named for their birthplace.
I just hope that Square Enix eventually updates the engine for the game. Make it even prettier.
A happy accident, born of the hands of a former researcher who loved beautiful blossoms. Unique for how they change color, to reflect the emotional state of those nearby. Though be it here or elsewhere, they are seldom seen in any hue save purest white.
Reflect the emotional state, you say? By what means do they achieve this?
In creation, there exists an energy wholly apart from ether, one driven by emotions. In like manner to how we manipulate ether, this flower is subject to the influence of said energy. While it has no will of its own, it is sensitive to the prevailing emotion in the vicinity, and reacts by altering its color and vibrancy.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
Akasha. Though I'm not familiar with the term, your description suggests it is the self-same energy. Dynamis, we call it.
Dynamis, eh?
And those entities like the Elpis flower that have the ability to interact with this energy, converting emotions into tangible phenomena.
Yeah, because Dynamis was actually a feature in Final Fantasy XI where you could go 20 years into the past to take on the wars of the past. I wonder if they're going to bring any more sort of past content to 14, like Dynamis and Final Fantasy XI.
Our Antelekis.
That's me! That's me! An Enteleki!
That you are, my dear. And no ordinary one at that, but the first possessed of free will.
Wait. A form of energy other than ether? Dynamis? I've never heard of such a thing.
Hardly surprising. Dynamis cannot be seen, much less felt. And though its existence has long been theorized, we had no proof until the flower's serendipitous creation. What's more, Dynamis is far weaker than ether. Under normal circumstances, its effects are drowned out by the latter. On account of which, beings comprised of and reliant upon the ether, like you and I, are unable to make practical use of Dynamis. 'Tis a truly esoteric thing, known to but a select few scholars.
Intriguing. Then, given the limitations you described, why create Meteon?
Probably just bored.
Our star, Aetheris, is especially rich in ether, so much so that its name is derived from it. However, when we consider all energy in existence here and in the vast space beyond, Dynamis may account for as much as 68.3%. The more abundant form by far. Were we able to control it, we could open the door to limitless possibilities. 'Tis not unlike a gently flowing stream, unable to break through the dam of ether barring its path. But if we could imbue the stream with the vigor of a raging river... Not that I have such grand ambitions. Nay. I merely wish to create a being that could traverse the great expanse. The relative scarcity of ether beyond the bounds of this star was a concern. And so, I looked to another source of energy by necessity.
That being Dynamis. No wonder her ether is so thin.
Precisely.
Yours is thin too. Like an Enteleki. Like me. So... are we the same? Entelekis.
Sure, I don't see why I couldn't be one. Well, I have been known to transcend my limits with nothing but determination. If I'm thin, it's because Emmett Selk didn't do a proper job.
I think not. Your nature remains a mystery, but ere I reinforced you, you appeared to be little more than a common familiar, and a faded one at that.
A deficit of ether alone does not an Enteleki make. It would, however, make it easier for you to interact with Dynamis. And limited though its influence may be, this quality could prove the difference between victory and defeat. You do well not to underestimate it.
He's like, boring.
I'd forgotten about the poor fella. You must excuse me a moment while I go and verify a few more things.
Oh, let's complete the quest. So the next quest is with Emmett Selk. And the quest is called I'm a Big Douchebag. I'm secretly Hades. I hate everything. Blah, 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 blah. I'm Emmett Selk. And it's also known as their greatest contribution. Emmett Selk appears to be in deep thought. Not that I or anyone else would be able to make use of it, even if we knew, but it irks me to discover that there is an entirely different form of energy, and no one told me. That personal annoyance aside, Hermes' knowledge is undeniably impressive, given that there are none among the 14 who specialize in the Celestial. He would be a welcome addition. Assuming he can be swayed to join, that is, I still can't understand his hesitation. Why did you join the convocation? What do you specialize in? Oh, you wish to know why Emmett Selk was chosen for the convocation? I should be glad to share the tale. It began when... Not another word. Lest you've forgotten, we're to learn about Hermes, not me. My misspent youth is not your concern. Fair enough. Okay, let's go talk to Hermes. My apologies for the wait. I have inspected the Ampelos to my satisfaction. All is well with the creature, and I dare say it won't be long ere it is released onto the world. Another creation, however, reportedly isn't faring so well. The Charybdis. That is what we shall tend to next. If you would follow me, my friends, we shall return to the main isle and head north. Alright, let's catch up with Hermes yet again. Okay, so we caught up with Hermes yet again. Let's talk to him. I understand there is a problem with one of the Charybdis. Yes, that's right. As you know, the Charybdis is based on a sea creature. Owing to adjustments to enhance its affinity to wind, is capable of flight. The specimens created from the concept could all fly without issue, but a problem arose in subsequent generations. This third generation creature was born with an etheric balance, leaning towards water. Its aquatic origin reasserting itself, it would seem. The result being its affinity to wind is diminished, and it cannot fly. No matter what we try, we can't get it to rise even the slightest bit. These are like the monsters in that help Bismarck. For such a change to manifest in so few generations, I fear they are too unstable, flawed. With your permission, I will revert the creatures and recommend to the Bureau that the concept be revised. With its etheric balance leaning towards water, the Charybdis would indeed struggle to manipulate wind. Yet it is too early to conclude that it cannot fly. Having failed at first, it may simply have developed a fear. I shall transform and fly with it, helping it to manipulate wind until it finds its wings. What? You needn't go to such lengths. You don't know? Well, of course not. Transformation is an art in which one manipulates a vast quantity of ether to construct another body around oneself. In practice, this allows one to assume any conceivable form and thereby transcend the limits of one's flesh. Yet, convenient though it may be, transforming in the presence of others is considered vainglorious in the extreme. As uncouth and unseemly as running about robeless. Shameful. I might understand that you make a habit of this. Nothing of the sort. It's just that when transformed, I can wield the wind and fly. It may seem excessive, but what is our shame next to the lives of these creatures? They deserve a chance, and we owe it to them to do all in our power. Be that as it may. Yes, I believe I have a solution. MSL, may I trouble you to move that Charybodis away from his fellows, somewhere out of sight? Rawr. Meanwhile, I'd like the rest of you to help me prepare here. What mischief are you scheming now? No mischief, I assure you. I would but spare you the need to report to your colleagues that Hermes committed an indiscretion. So have a little faith and run along. I trust you don't mind. Cool. Alright, let's talk to Hypholodius. So Emmett Sulk is out of sight. Good. Let's speak of the plan. It's a stroke of genius, really. We have Emmett Sulk train the Charybodis. Aside from being able to fly untransformed, he can readily see aether currents. And with his adept spellcraft, he can also employ suitable wind magics to guide the creature along. While he is indeed capable of all you described, it is not his duty. I am loath to trouble him with it. Not be. As I mentioned, it would also be for his own sake. With that settled, let's begin at once. Mithrie, I want you to go to MSL. Tell him that you have a favour to ask. He will be disinclined to cooperate at first, but you mustn't be discouraged. With our friend, the trick is to be unflaggingly persistent. Off you go now, and good luck. So, in say mode, say, I have a favour to ask, to indicate to MSL they have a request. Interesting. Alright, so we have to catch up to MSL and talk to him. So, let's go. Okay, so we made it to MSL, so let's select him, and then say, I have a favour to ask. Oh, no you don't. I'm not lifting a finger. I don't know what Hypholodius is up to, but I will not be made to know. I refuse. If Hypholodius is to be believed, relentless insistence may serve to wear down the ever-wary Emmett Sulk. Say, please Emmett Sulk. So again, let's select him. Say, please Emmett Sulk.
No, no, no. You are not foisting this nonsense on me.
I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Emmett Sulk. Please teach her to fly.
Or else Hermes will transform. Right now.
Now, there's no need to go quite that far. Altruism is its own reward, as I'm sure he would agree.
Oh, would he now? And who contrived to put me in this position, pray tell?
Nothing so devious. I merely suggested a possible course of action.
Selk. Please!
I did not come all this way to play nursemaid to your creations. I'd thank you to remember this favor and let it be the last.
Nice.
I will aid it once it is taken to the air. It falls to you to shepherd it skyward.
Well, let's relax and enjoy the spectacle, shall we? You were wondering why Emmett Selk joined the convocation. Truth be told, he wasn't the first choice for the office. I was, on the strength of my ability to see ether. But I declined the offer. For though my vision is exceptional, I am pedestrian in all other aspects. Worse even, quite abysmal when it comes to manipulating ether, for example. Couldn't transform even if I had a mind to do so. What good is the ability to perceive a problem if one cannot act to address it? Emmett Selk has no such shortcomings. He excels in vision and manipulation both, the latter to an extraordinary degree. If there is a mage more powerful, I do not know of them. Thus did I recommend him for the office in my stead. And I wasn't the only one. Far from it. Countless others vouched for his skill and character. People the world over, to whom he had previously lent a helping hand. Oh, how surprised he was. Claimed he hadn't done anything remarkable for anyone. Modest to a fault. He deserved every bit of acclaim he received. Yet he may well have gone unappreciated were it not for a mutual friend. A singular soul who can't help but involve herself in the business of others. Where she walks, excitement is certain to follow. Her antics irritate Emmett Selk to no end. But much of his grumbling stems from genuine concern. When our friend calls, he never fails to answer and lend his talents. And in the course of doing so, he himself came to be recognized and respected by those around him. They are truly remarkable individuals, and I'm proud to call them friends. To help them realize their dreams. This will be my greatest contribution to our world. And when they have fulfilled their respective purposes, so too shall I have fulfilled mine. And together we may return to the star. Look at me, spilling my innermost secrets. I can't seem to help it with you. I can only assume it is due to the color of your soul. I just don't understand how you can be so alike and yet so different.
Well done, my pet. Well done!
Ah, yes. I dare say the Charybdis will be fine here on. Why don't you go and signal to Emmett Selk? Let him know that his arduous task is at an end.
Fair enough. Okay. So I guess we have to wave at him. Let's wave. Emerging from his reverie, MSQ notices you and begins to descend with the Charybdis. And I'll pronounce that wrong. I have no words to express my gratitude. Thanks to you, the Charybdis has learned to fly. And Mithrie and I could relax and have a pleasant chat. I'm sure you did. The creature needed some small assistance at first, but soon it was flying more or less on its own. I doubt you will need to repeat the lesson. That was truly impressive. I witnessed it all from afar. The Charybdis flies. Indeed, with this, we've proven that even a creature with skewed etheric balance is capable of flight. Though we helped it achieve this, the Charybdis is a herd animal. It may well aid their struggling kin in like fashion if and when the need arises. Keeping this in mind, I bid you continue observing them. If that is what you want. But, if I may say so, rather than hoping an idealistic possibility comes to pass, would it not be simpler to have the concept adjusted? That way we could guarantee that anomalies, such as this specimen, are never born in the first place. These creatures are already here. We will spare no effort in giving them a chance to survive. As you wish, Chief, as you wish. Hermes. I'm fine, don't worry. Well, that concludes all of my present tasks. Let us return to Anagnoris for now. Alright. I guess we have to catch up with Hermes or MSQ one last time. So let us return to them as quickly as we can. Okay, we made it back to MSQ, so let's talk to him. So, what? Want to apologize for forcing me to help, do you? Save your breath. You didn't force me to do anything. I merely chose the most expeditious way to have done with my impediment to our business. Okay, and let's complete. So, anyway guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye guys.